guys. In this video, we are going to discuss and talk about, and you're going to see me walk someone else through why they're having a hard time leaving an abusive relationship. So if you know you're in an abusive relationship, it's not feeling good, it's unpleasant for you, and you're ready to leave, but yet you can't, stay tuned, watch the video to find out why and to see what you can do about it. So a couple things to point out before we get to that portion of the content. One, if you're at the phase of wanting to know why you even attracted in a narcissist, a bad person, someone self-centered, someone who just can't take your needs into consideration, watch my video, Why Did I Attract a Narcissist? I'll link to it down for you below in the descriptions and probably the comment area as well. If you need a process to help you move on from a loved one, I'll also link to that video for you as well. Bear in mind that that video is for you if you're a little bit further out of the trauma of an abusive relationship, but it's still a good process, a way to process your emotions so that you can start moving on. And another point to know of how you know when you're like ready to leave an abusive relationship, it's when you're at that point of, oh my God, that's so horrible, I can't possibly go back to that. That's when you know you've learned all the lessons you need to learn, because otherwise, if you leave before you hit that point, you're just going to attract in another one just like that. But if you're at that kind of point, that breaking point, this video is really going to help you. It's going to trace it. This video is going to help you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play that video. Once you realize it's over, and stop trying to make it work, and stop trying to go back, and stop trying to make it work, stop trying to figure out how can you view it differently for it to be better. There must be something wrong with me for me to not be enjoying this. Once you admit it's over and stop trying to turn a no into a yes, that's when you're going to be happy. Are you still on, Felicia? Guys, I ran out of energy. Felicia's probably going to be the last one. Thanks for the hearts. I love the hearts. Felicia, you got any comments or questions on that though?
Like when we made our way from the down to like the main, oh my God, it was so beautiful. Like it actually felt like it was more Italy because it was hot and you're walking down the streets and they're super narrow.
Yeah, but Mark,
like in the shops.
I'm gonna hear that, right? I have someone who's asking me to be on a summit. Hey Shelly, you're gonna love this. It's kind of like Leah being asked to be on a summit with Allison. I can't remember the name of that feminine teacher, but I just got asked to participate in a summit that does have Hay House published writers. That's not stopping me from doing this Facebook Live right now. That's not stopping me from... All I can tell you, Mark, right now is in your energy, there's like pressure of doing this big, bad, bold thing. I think of it this way, like, if there's an investor, are they going to invest in someone who, hey, I need your funding to get started? Or are they going to invest in someone who, oh wow, you already have classes going, you already have people buying classes from you, you already have donation-based classes going? Which one is the investor more likely going to invest in? I'm just telling you right now that like, there's like a gap, and you need to start filling the gaps here. Whatever your foundation is going to be, that's what they're saying, Mark. Whatever your foundation is about, you need to start doing the smaller and the medium-sized steps too. It's going to make it all flow. It's kind of like a staircase. Why put the pressure to jump 5 steps when you could just do it step by step? Okay, let me see Felicia's comments. That hits home. You keep trying to do things differently to make them work, but nothing works, and I feel like I'm doing something wrong to keep manifesting this. No, oh Felicia, that's another trap that a lot of people who had enmeshment trauma fall into. Because yes, if you're happy, if you're in the vibration of happiness, you're gonna like everything. But there's no need to test yourself. There's no need to. That's like saying, here, oh, this is gonna hit home, Felicia. If I'm so good, if I'm so happy, I should be able to put my hand in a fire and feel good. And there that like Buddhist monk or whatever who did kind of set himself on fire, like died with a smile on his face. But that was his choice, that was his life. You don't need to test yourself. If I'm good enough, this fire wouldn't be burning my hand. I would view it as something positive. No, your hand hurts. Your hand's in pain. Pull your hand out of the fire. It's not to be over and I'm ready for it to be over. I just don't understand why they won't let me go. Felicia, you're doing the same thing that I read for Alexis earlier. If I choose to move towards my happiness, I'm hurting so-and-so, I therefore can't do it. I can't leave this relationship until they see that it's over too. No. Okay, so you're talking about the need of love and connection right now. Everyone has a need for love and connection. You know, when we're born as babies, if you put us in the middle of the streets, I let Teal Swan worded it this way, and I thought it was so beautiful. If you're put in the middle of the street when you're a baby, you're going to die. You need community. You need love and connection. It's a fundamental, basic, primal human need. And people who know how to get the connection met in a healthy way, they get it met in a healthy way. People who don't know how to get it met in a healthy way, aka the kids who act up in school because then the teacher gives them attention. Hey, be quiet, Joe. Joe, you need to be quiet. Joe, you need to be quiet. That's his only way to get any attention. He's getting his need for love and a connection met in an unhealthy way, and a tension. And the Bethany Perry worded this for me. Because they don't know how to get love and connection. Because love and connection is where you sit here, you share time, you share intimacy, you share connection, you share, this was my day, and you just hear the other person out. But people who don't know how to have intimacy, because they've got like scrambled brain from past abuse and whatever, for them it's about attention. AKA the narcissists. So narcissists aren't actually evil. They're just people who operate out of extreme insecurity, which is the number 22, the lowest vibe, and they're trying to express love, the number 1 vibe. Come on, that's not going to feel good. That's not going to feel good. You can't jump 22 steps. They are insecure and they're in fear, and they're trying to express love. Since they don't know how to do that, for them it is about attention. Yes, I just want him to see it for me, but feel better about leaving so it won't be such a battle. No, Felicia, it's only a battle because you're trying to change his mind. It's only a battle because you're trying to feel better about leaving. Leaving never feels good. I was in an abusive relationship before. It didn't feel good. And I remember I stayed in an extra year. I was like, no, if I was really supposed to be out of this relationship, it would feel good to leave. No, you had some comfort. You had some security being met. You had some love and connection being met. And now you're about to venture out on your own and you have kids to take care of, Felicia. Of course you feel scared. Of course you feel scared. I feel scared, and I want to start making decisions that bring me more enjoyment and more happiness. When you stop trying to make it work, when you stop trying to make the other person see it, when you stop trying to get a perspective shift, that's when you're going to be happy, Felicia. Whether you leave or don't leave, that's when you're going to be happy. You're either going to do it or you're not. I'm thinking of it this way. You're either leading a life where you value how others feel over you, or you can't make the abuse stop, Felicia. That person is at the lowest vibe, at fear, at insecurity. They don't know how to just say, hey, Felicia, how was your day? How was your day, beautiful? Come here, share this glass of wine with me. No, for them, because they don't know how to, they don't feel worthy. Narcissists don't feel worthy. They live life in extreme paranoia and extreme insecurity. They don't feel worthy of love. They don't know how to say, hey, do you want to hang out? Hey, do you want to cuddle? Because they feel unworthy. They feel like they have to like manipulate to get their need met. That's them, Felicia, and their viewpoint and how they view the world. Do you view it that way too? Yes or no? You can't make him stop abusing you. What you can do is you can leave so you stop the abuse to yourself. So think of it this way. He's not abusing. This is going to get deep, Felicia. He's not abusing you. You're abusing you. That bad feeling you have, that is your inner being Hey Felicia, you should go check out Shelly's photos. She has a really healthy love and connection partner. I learned a lot from Shelly and her partner. Shelly, I remember that. I remember just meeting him and I remember going, whoa, a relationship like this is possible. My dating life turned after that too. I just started saying no to the no's and started saying yes to the yeses. But Felicia, like, that bad feeling you have, that's your inner being saying, this is fire. You're putting your heart in fire right now. This feels bad. Let's get out of here. And you're not listening to yourself. You're the one abusing you. Does that make sense? Sorry to get so deep on a Facebook Live. And like, so Felicia, where that typically comes from is it tends to be from someone who had childhood abuse. And what happens when you have a childhood abuse, it kind of does set the vibrations up for further abuse, right? So as you're getting older, you're attracted to the narcissist, the abuse. Because there's this unhealed wound when you were 2, 3, 4, 5, you were young, of why don't my parents love me? Why don't they love me? That tends to set the person up for the inherently flawed way of thinking. If my own parents, the two people who were supposed to come together and co-create me, if they didn't even want me, if they treated me badly, then it's because there must be something wrong with me. That's complete and utter bullshit. You were just born into parents who don't know how to express love and connection healthily. That's your launching pad. You gotta move towards no. Because your inner being, Felicia, and I'm gonna help you rebuild trust with yourself for right now. No one teaches a kid how to walk. No one teaches a baby how to walk. No one teaches a baby how to crawl. No, there are no videos. There are no manuals. Your parents don't teach you. What you do is when you're a little baby, you observe. You observe adults walking. And you're like, hey, how do I do that? I'm just in this thing sitting here. I have to wait for them to feed me. I have to wait for them. I want to walk. And then your inner being's like, hey, look at these things. And your inner being's like, hey, look at your toes. And you start wiggling your toes, start looking at them. The step one, just start your business. Take the first step, do a Facebook Live, do an Instagram post. You're looking at your hands. And then you're like, whoa, I can move my whole arm. Whoa, I can move them both. And then you're rolling, and then you're crawling. And then you're like crawling on your hands and knees, and then you're walking. Your inner being taught you that. There's no manuals, there's no videos. Your inner being taught you that. Okay. So your inner being can teach you how to have love and connection in a healthy way. Shelly was my inner being, guided me to this goddess program with Leah Lake, and Shelly was a member of that program. My inner being, and I went, who is this teacher who does divine feminine, divine masculine? Like, why do I need that? On my human level, it's like, I don't need that, but my inner being, it kept giving me that warm, glowing feeling. So I signed up. It ended up being one of the most transformational, positive coaching experiences I have ever had. Shelly was part of that program. When I was at the retreat, so it was very safe for me. I had my girls with me, and she just said, hey, I want to bring my partner. So I was like, okay, it's safe for me. He's already coupled up. So obviously I used to have fear around men. And I saw how he treated her. Hey, it's your birthday. Hey, let's do this. Hey, maybe your girlfriends will want to experience this too. And I was like, inner being, you're amazing. You guided me to the perfect coach, and you guided me to the perfect participants in there. Oh God, and there were other awesome ladies. Jackie, there were such other great people in there too that you learn from. My inner being guided me to that, okay? Thank you for going so deep. That makes total sense. It confirms a lot too that I've already known and felt. So my higher self is making me uncomfortable to the point that I make a decision. No, your inner being is not making you uncomfortable. Your inner being wants to go experience love and connection in a healthy way. The discomfort is you not listening to it. Is you put your hand in fire, your inner being is like, hey, this hurts, pull your hand out, and you're like, no, I need to be good enough that this fire feels good. Okay, so going back now, your inner being can keep guiding, but you gotta listen to it. And so when people are in that situation where they're, how to make them stop abusing me, it tends to be because they have that unhealed childhood abuse where they think like, if I could get this current partner right here, if he could love me, then that would prove that they loved me. Then that would prove that I was wanted, and that would mean that I'm inherently right. Oh, good, it's helping. See, Felicia? Thank you for being brave to ask the question. It's helping someone else on this group. So what you gotta do is you just have to go back and go, and I had to do this with my childhood. I had to do this with my childhood, guys. I had to go, my childhood sucked. You have to be willing to state that this bad experience was a no. That childhood sucked. It wasn't a fun one. My parents didn't love me the way I needed to be loved. They didn't, it was about them, it felt like. You need to be willing to classify that no when you were so young and you obviously had needs. You were a brand new little baby. You need to be willing to classify that as a no so that you get clear within you what's a no, what's a yes, and then how do I say yes to the yeses. Oh, there you go, Felicia. How are you doing now, Felicia? Stop trying to turn this relationship now that you're older into one that's trying to heal that one. Your parents didn't give you what you think you needed, what you thought you needed. And that's like, you know, there's all these spiritual teachers right now who are, we're 5D, we're 5D. I'm going to explain 5D to you in a very practical way right now. 5D is every generation, we just keep getting better and better and better. Emotional development, you know, we're freaking going to the moon and all of that, right? There were things like World War I, World War II, a lot of civil wars. There was a lot of trauma. So it's not that our parents are evil. You know, my parents lived through the Great Depression. Depression, depressed. That's the lowest vibe. Go type up emotional guidance list. It's the lowest vibe. Depression, despair. Our parents grew up with that. So of course they didn't know how to show us if they had a default vibe of 22. They didn't know how to show us the default vibe of number 1. Whatever vibe you're at, you only have access to 2 or 3 up or down. So their highest potential vibe, I don't have the list memorized, would be anger. You're getting someone who the happiest they know how to be is anger, and so they're not evil, okay? We're moving towards a time, like think about it, back in the day, right? If there was a war, it was called a world war for a reason. The whole fucking world was involved. The men were going overseas, the women started working. Now we're in a day and age, there's wars going on. I don't know anything about them. We're moving in a generation where, I mean, I hope that makes sense right there. There's no one writing comments. Let's see any comments. So the 5D is actually what this generation is doing. We're breaking those. Some people like to call it karma, the karma cycle, the karma of your family, is that we're stopping the pattern of abuse. We're stopping the pattern of abuse. And it's not, see, yes, there's abuse. Yes, my childhood was very abusive. That doesn't make my parents evil. That doesn't make my parents evil. When I look at my mom, sometimes I'm genuinely going like, oh my God, this is a 60-year-old woman with the mentality of a 4-year-old and a 13-year-old. Who the hell am I to expect 6-year-old behavior out of a 4-year-old, out of a 13-year-old? Because think about it, in her day and age, she didn't have the internet. She didn't have access to all these coaches that I've had access to. They didn't. It was those people who suffered that much did the ask. How do we get better? I don't want, just because I was raped, I don't want to live a life of despair, a life of shame, a life of this. How do we feel better? And so what happens, sometimes people in that generation, they get the healing, they move on. That tends to be the leaders, that tends to be the teachers, right? But then there's actually also people, they do the ask so that this next generation, instead of starting from here to here, they start from here to here. My mom didn't have access to the therapist I had. My mom didn't have access. Can I still be sad and still classify and label? That experience when I was younger was a no. That was unfair. That sucked. Yes. Does that make sense, Felicia? Be willing to cry the tears, shed the tears, have intimacy with yourself. Be there emotionally for yourself. Instead of trying to demand it out of your partner, trying to demand intimacy that he can't give you, be there for guys. I hope that video helped you. I help you kind of walk through why it's hard to leave even though you know that's the right decision, and I hope it kind of helped you realize that it's like deeper than it actually is, and that it's really about the core healing of being willing to label any past trauma as a no, so that you have a clear internal guidance system of what's a no and what's a yes so that you can move forward. And please know, guys, that even leaving a lot of time, especially people who follow law of attraction, Abraham Hicks style, which I love Abraham. Okay, I love the teaching of Abraham's. I implement a lot of it in my life. But a lot of times people have that misnomer that it must feel good if it's the right decision. Guys, if you have a long-standing relationship and if you have time and energy and effort with someone, of course it's gonna, you're entering the new. So it's not always going to feel happy, happy, joy, joy when you're leaving a relationship, even if it was an abusive one. So know that as you move forward from this. And do know that it just comes from that clear internal guidance system of what's a no, what's a yes. You know, when you were younger and you were very dependent on your parents for survival, sometimes you had to adopt unhealthy ways of living life in order to survive when you were younger, that now you're just in the process of kind of unscrambling those belief systems and those attitudes and those coping mechanisms that aren't helping you anymore. And also know that I wanted to talk a little bit more about how do I make the abuse stop. That question that was mentioned in the video clip. You can't make someone stop abusing you. The video explained that it's about you stop the abuse to yourself by getting out of there. The other person has to have the desire to change. If they don't have the desire, it's not going to happen. You have the desire to change, which is why you're watching this video. But other people, their definition of what love and what success is might be different. You have to be okay with that. You have to just be okay that you might be a bigger grower, or maybe they're not ready yet. The fact that you're having a hard time leaving this relationship, even though you know that it's a no and you need to get out, that should be kind of enough proof for you to realize that even though they may or may not be aware that their habits are not good, they could be facing the same fear as to why they don't want to change. So you can't change them and you can't have the desire for them. It really does boil down to, are you going to be willing to label your childhood as a no, the past trauma as a no, so you get a clear yes or no, and are you now going to explore and try living life in a way where you put your needs first? Because a lot of codependents tend to put the other person's needs first. I'll take care of your need, then you'll take care of my need. So now you're just going to explore living life in a different way where you put your need first and get it met, and know that in time, as you further along that after that part of the journey, then you're going to find someone where your need meets their need and you guys have the same needs. Those types of relationships do exist, I promise you guys. So I hope this video helps you. If it helped you, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment below. Maybe I can help a little bit in the comments. If you want to work with me further, just go check out my website, kellylunt.com. I have everything from VIP intensives down to a high vibe club that's only $13 a month that has tons of pre-recorded content and content like this of me helping people create new, healthier lifestyles. So that's kellylunt.com/high vibe. But I love you guys. I hope this video helped, and I will see you later.